Good Monday, losers. Thanks for listening to the podcast. I was about to thank you for being Patreon subscribers, but then I realised that you're not. You're just the cheapskates.
Some of them are. They get this early access. You see.
Oh, okay.
Plug.
Okay, I think I did know that.
They've already listened to this.
Right. So if you're the Patreon listeners, hey, here's your podcast. Thanks for the subscribing. If you're a Monday listener, thanks, I guess. But you could
objectively be doing better, and I think we both know that. And we've got guest Ari Matt on in Estonia, and he's now going to record the Patreon bonus special with us, where the patrons have asked questions, and we're going to answer them, and that'll be up. So you can subscribe to that if that'll already be up it'll already be up by the time you listen to this. Right. I think that might have been the worst intro we've ever done. It was the longest and most pointless. It's a good podcast. I don't think it's the longest. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's definitely not the longest. Well, I mean, no, yeah. I mean, at this rate. But they've got a good podcast about the club. It was a very funny podcast. And just fucking enjoy. I'll speed that up to like twice the speed. So guys, make us sound like hamsters. Yeah, I've done that to you before a couple of times. I wouldn't know. I don't listen to this shit.
Sloss and Humphreys on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins. Straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Ah, muggles.
Accidental rib job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Just muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11?
Right, okay.
Like, explain to you.
Is this the exclusive episode first, or?
No, this is the regular Monday episode.
This is going public.
That's public. So.
And smoke weed on camera.
Yeah.
Will that reach YouTube?
Only one way to find out.
Aye. If it gets took down, they'd have to go on.
I'll be in the paper. I'll be in the papers after if I smoke. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
On camera.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
for sure.
Is it that illegal?
Hold on, you're going to get free press for our podcast if you smoke weed on it?
Yeah.
Well, not free.
Well, it's going to be like, Ari doesn't smoke weed on camera on this podcast. And loads of people are going to want to check out what that podcast is.
Sure, you talked me into it.
No. Because we will be able to smoke weed on camera.
Does he talk like this away from microphone all the time?
It doesn't
Yes,
fucking face
but,
this way.
Honestly.
I can't. Look, it doesn't.
Ari, thanks for... I feel seen.
I can what?
No, but you can change the location of the...
I can do that, but then I'm just going to be talking like...
You see, this is a spinning table. Just spin it towards your direction.
Whoa.
Yeah, but then it's...
Spin it the other way, so it's closer.
Fuck's sake! It's like fucking Tomb Raider.
How do you do sound checks with this guy, though, huh?
I do, yeah.
And then turn this one towards you.
Turn.
Yes, it does.
Jesus, we could have done this before the start of the...
Oh, muscles.
This is-
And then put the wrenches.
This is why it's free, this one.
Aye. Maybe this will be it.
So this is the order of service for today. Right, this is the Monday podcast, but we're also going to do a Thursday podcast today.
Wow.
So the patrons are going to get the second episode first and the first episode second. So we're going to do a Q&A with you, Ari, fielding questions that the patrons asked us.
Did people ask?
People asked, yeah. Imagine how fucking embarrassing that would be.
Yeah.
If we're doing a Q&A podcast, could field your questions and
That's what I'm
Ari will
saying.
bat them away. Imagine just had like 3 likes, no comments.
Yeah.
Just had to ask Ari to come up with the questions.
Yeah.
I'd have folded the podcast.
So, wait, hold on. So, you would get in trouble for smoking weed?
For sure.
But do you not speak about weed on stage?
All the time.
Right.
But it's like art form, like, ooh.
So do you want us to blur you out while you hit the weed?
No,
so listen, because it'll be funny. Because if he's not blurred out for all of the podcast, but they blur him out just while he smokes weed.
Well, I think we also have to. We can. You're allowed to smoke weed on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's like Twitch, where you can smoke weed on it if weed is legal in your country. But if
For
it's
sure.
not, then you can't. So I reckon we're just gonna have to ask Brett to cut. Just edit that bit out, and then we'll carry on with the podcast.
But I'm not too worried, no. I'm just saying, usually we try to be discreet, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't.
I know,
I'm wearing
yeah.
a shirt that says quality drugs.
Yes,
on
but you're like Snoop Dogg, where,
Said no one ever.
I mean, like when you arrive at an airport and they find drugs on you, it's like Keith Richards' deal. It's like, cool, wow, pick you up. I'm like... If I'm on camera and I try to get a gig in Dubai and they see me smoke the pipe,
I see.
They're
right.
like, you're not ever getting in.
Hold on.
You go to like special prison.
Yeah. I go to the one that the Wolf of Wall Street went to.
Oh yeah,
that
exactly.
One where there's like a tennis court. It's fun.
And then me and Kai wait at immigration with Syrians.
I still get bummed in the millionaire prison, by the way. I get in there, but I'm not top dog.
Yeah.
It doesn't go well.
You even build it yourself like Pablo Picasso. Gone in and you're still not the top.
Yeah.
Pablo Picasso.
Pablo Picasso.
Pablo Picasso built his own fucking prison, did he?
Yes, that's why people tune into this podcast. That's our USP.
Pablo
that.
Picasso?
Our USP is
He meant
means
Escobar.
I know, he meant Escobar. I thought it was like a joke that you guys do.
No.
Wow.
That was me being high.
The only ongoing
Wow.
joke is that Kai
Oh yeah, is the cookie kicking?
a little bit for
A
me.
little
Yeah.
bit. Nice,
I mean,
nice,
I'm
nice.
still gonna hit the ball.
Of course, yeah.
Right. Could you eat a cookie on camera? Would that get you in trouble?
Well, yeah. What is a cookie?
Are you
Right.
being paranoid about like how much trouble? Do you do the one show? Like, do you do like daytime television? Is it going to compromise
No,
that?
no,
Like,
no,
it's
never.
not going to stop you
I
getting
never
into
do that.
Dubai.
No, of course, no. It's not a real fear, but it's like, well, you know what it is, that I'm around other paranoid people, so that instills paranoia. You know,
yeah.
But you guys hang out because you guys tour in like all these legal countries. You know, you don't
And it's
care.
right. So is like weed very illegal in Estonia? Or
Not
like,
very,
Is
but
it very frowned upon? Is it like drugs are bad?
I think
To,
I
like,
have
talk
a-
to Frank.
I think I'm doing like a deal that's worth like 5 figures in January with the health department. I'm pretty sure
There you go.
if I hit,
Aye.
but that's not what I meant initially.
Because
but-
no, that's what you've got to think is like, is it going to stop you from doing anything in the future? Like,
No.
like I've done so many things in my life, I couldn't get into politics.
Well, if it's something that will,
yeah, famously, no paedophiles have gone into politics.
yeah,
This you got to get for this guy that took a line of cocaine off a tortoise. Here's the picture.
Aye.
I mean, that's not the only reason I'm not getting into politics. My lack of political knowledge is
Aye,
also,
that.
but hypothetically,
I reckon if there was a candidate that came out and was just like, I used to do heaps of blow back in the day. I smoked every single day, and I'll be honest with you, heroin is class. Like I get it, but I'm all clean now. And I'm running. I'd be like, I trust you.
fucking,
for sure.
it shows you how bad the government is. That we're like, a recovered addict wouldn't be that bad. Like,
For sure.
As long as it's recovered.
I would just get some crackhead off the street and all that. Just
especially like comedian, in the sense that, you know, our industry is like, the more fucked up shit you do, the cooler you are. In essence, we're not like Formula One drivers.
Yeah,
we lose like, you know,
Aye.
shoal.
Well, it's like there was a comedian in the UK called Jack Whitehall who did.
He does the one. I haven't seen anything, but it's always in my fucking face. Him and his father. Or
but
something.
oh yeah, he does it.
Comedians and their parents is a comedy trope that.
It's always travel shows, isn't it? Travel show.
Like I get it, cool. You love your parents. Like I love my mum. I wouldn't do a travel
Oh,
show.
I tell you what, though, a travel show with me and Linda would shift tickets like.
It would
That
be the
would
first time she'd ever fucking travelled. It'd just be her and the pyramids just going. "Ee."
Oh yeah.
They're like the tea bags.
Pull the window open.
Oh yeah, hi. Get that window open.
Boom.
Compromise a little bit of audio quality for, and that's by that I mean how high we're gonna get.
He's- You gonna do something?
Did he just tap me out?
You said specifically before the
Get the
podcast,
fuck. Slander?
no, you said I'm gonna let the edible kick in and I'll be fine. I'll
And I
take
have
over.
let it kick in.
Yeah.
It was before it had kicked in. I
Aye,
thought
it's
that.
only because the cameras are on now. You're acting hard in front of your mates.
But you guys are like, bro, every time I hang out with you guys after shows, I mean, I cannot, when I'm on tour, it's like, no, like maybe one shot of whiskey and I have to go straight to bed because me and Mika will have like a panic attack
Yeah.
if we have like, but you guys just go hard, man. Every time I hang out with you guys, I'm just surprised because you guys fly all the time, every night shows.
Yeah.
Like
it's
true
nice to feel
professional.
appreciated, isn't it?
Oh, like true professional. Like you were
People don't see that side
you
of
were
it,
like
man.
passing out at that bar last night,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like, if that was me, that's 2-week recovery. Like I had three gin tonics last night. I woke up, you know, like
Yeah, but you don't drink that much in general.
I know, yeah.
Because so I had Ari. This is Ari Matt Mustonen, by the way. He's an Estonian comedian who we've been friends with.
the
for years.
pronunciation of my last name.
Mustonen?
He lost confidence after
Ari
Matty.
Matti Mustonen?
Just don't say it.
No, come on, you say it. Come on.
Ari Matt Mustonen.
Ari Matti Mustonen.
Ari Matt Mustonen.
Mustardson.
Ari Matt Mustonen.
Mustardson?
Mustardson.
Mustardson, son of the mustard.
Mustard and Sons.
Mustard.
That's,
sounds like a proper, like one of them prohibition type bars.
Yeah. Why? Like.
you know that
Band
band
and
Sanford
Sons,
and Sons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the band? Yeah. You guys
I
like
don't
that
know
music?
that. I don't know that from Sanford and Sons. By the way, I only know that from Scrubs.
Ah.
In Scrubs, Turk sings the fucking song all the time, so I don't actually get the reference. So
You used to
Ari,
come on the get me words out. You used to come on stage to Mumford and Sons, didn't you? Or did you listen to it a lot? Was it
I
your
think
pre-show music?
I listened to it. I was definitely pre-show
gonna say,
music.
like,
I still like Mumford & Sons. I mean, I think the lead singer's a
No, I
fucking
like it.
moron, but
Do you know the Lumineers as well? Like similar music, you know Lumineers? I had to open for Lumineers in Latvia.
Did you?
Yeah. But they were like doing a festival.
Comedians
It
open
wasn't,
for
but it
musicians
wasn't.
sometimes.
No, but it wasn't like that. We were like, it wasn't even officially opening. It was just that we had a side stage for comedians to do comedy there, and then they did the music, and it was just the weirdest gig.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine music fans of the Lumineers are. I mean, I
Are
don't.
they respectful comedy audiences? Do you think like
Yeah, Lumineers. That's your gran and your aunt. Like that's a bunch of.
Is
rich-
it?
No,
Is it
not
not
here.
students from the thousands?
Not
Student ma-
No, they're very young hipster, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still very hipster.
Okay. And do they? Like how big are you in Estonia? Is that like? You've been doing comedy here for 10 years?
I've been doing comedy for like I think 8 years.
8 years.
Here maybe 5, but I mean, yeah, I mean I do my work,
Aye.
but here only.
So were you a comedian when we first met, or did you
I
get
was.
into it just
I
after
was.
that? You just started.
No, I just started, but already I knew the hierarchy, and I didn't want to mention I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Because we talked mostly about MMA, and at that point in my life, I think I was 23 when I met you.
Yeah,
and
2014
I was still like in my head. Oh, I think we can close the window now, so the sound.
Oh, great. Well spotted.
If you pull it, yeah, then the sound. Boom. And in my head, I was still like, I don't know. Did you guys have like a secondary dream, like a secondary thought, or
Backup plan.
not a backup plan, but what
like-
was the other thing?
What else?
Even when you were young, what was the other thing?
Oh, like yeah, I wanted to be when I was very young. I wanted to be a zookeeper. Like I just
Don't make yourself interesting. You did not want to be a
I
zookeeper.
did, but not because I
Are
wanted.
you trying to fuck me? That's
That
such
would-
a
that
thing
would-
you would
that
say
would
to
be
a
your-
girl. I just love animals so much.
That was gonna be
I'm
your-
willing to
love
work.
animals
I'm willing
so
to collect shit
Why?
from them.
What was your fucking dream? A bin man? Like what?
For cage fight.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Snowboarding
Okay.
teacher would be
Or
a good
James
one.
Bond. James Bond was my big one.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Bond. Have you seen the new Bond?
No,
Nah.
is it
See,
good?
this is why I can't
I've seen-
respect
I've
you.
seen
You're
some mixed-
Scottish.
Aye.
I've
Matt,
seen some
we've
mixed
been on the
reviews.
road. We can't watch it in fucking Belgium. I'm not watching it in a foreign language.
Bro, you're Snoop Dogg. You can call in a cinema and tell them, I'm arriving here, and you can smoke inside.
How famous do you think
We got
I
off at
am?
that.
You're very famous.
We got off at that
What?
in Edinburgh.
Did we?
We did. I got offered to go and play because the guy managing the cinema said we could go in and plug in our PlayStations and play the PlayStation at the cinema.
Oh yeah.
Also, isn't Bond Scottish? Like that's the backstory, right? He's Scottish.
Yeah.
No,
I think one of them-
I have every DVD. I have every VHS. I used to have. It paints the picture of 007. I had all the movies. I've seen all of the Bonds, and you haven't.
Fucking
I've seen
virgin.
I've seen most of the Bonds
Exactly,
since
the
like
op-
2000.
the opposite.
Exactly the opposite, my friend.
Shagga.
When I was young, that was my shit. Did you guys like? Because I've heard you talk stuff like like Iron Man and
Yeah.
like.
Marvel.
I love the Marvel universe.
See, that's
Oh.
like,
That-
in my world.
Does
that's
that make me a basic bitch to you?
not a basic bitch, but like there's no.
You ski, you don't snowboard.
No.
Because you're like that's the opinion of someone that skis is Bond, and then you're snowboarding
Do you like
and you're
Harry
running
Potter?
a Marvel.
I don't want to answer this question now. I feel like
He fucking loves it, mate.
Absolutely
Really?
Fucking loves it.
Well, I
We had a
for what
portion of
they
this
are.
podcast called Muggle Corner for years.
Aye.
Because we're the similar age.
Aye.
Even when I was young, when I saw that first scene of Harry Potter,
Oh, the movies aren't great. So like
even
I
the
like
books, bro. I bought 3 Harry Potter because the hype was so big. I bought 3 of them at once because I was like, I'm gonna rip through these.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 already, like spells and shit.
doesn't look
like
like
What did
nerdy.
you fucking think it was?
No, but like an owl at a train station, and like like.
Suspend your disbelief, Harry. man.
Bro,
Aye.
I watched James Bond. He like shoots missiles, fucks women.
Yeah.
The
Lives
first
in a
woman he
different world.
fucks, he murders.
Does
Or-
he?
Not him, but his actions though. Like
Okay,
Goldfinger,
he's-
he gets scarred. The first woman Bond fucks always die tragically, and he, for a second he's
And
like,
that's not suspicious to anyone else.
for a second he's like this.
Don't
He's
that
like,
no means no.
for a second he's like, oh, that's so.
Yeah,
And then he
sad.
calls M, and it's like, continue the mission. And then the second one he fucks is usually the wife of the bad villain because he mentally beats you as well. Fucks.
Okay.
And
Is-
then you know. And
Is
that's
that one of the things he always mentally beats the person?
mentally
with?
so many, you know,
Yeah.
like small pistol, you have like nuclear weapon, don't matter, because, you know, James Bond.
He beats him psychologically.
Psychologically. And when you're a kid, you know, compared to Harry Potter, like
Yeah. Oh,
you
Harry
watch
Potter, Harry
like,
Potter's a fucking loser.
just shooting.
I'm picking
you know,
up what you're putting down, but have some fun, man. Suspend your disbelief.
I
Enjoy the
liked-
fairy tale.
What age were you when you tried to read Harry Potter, though?
No, I was young, bro.
Oh, right, you
Even
were
at 13, I was like, this is bullshit. You know, like, and even Spider-Man, like jumping and like shoot. Where's the, you know,
Oh man, I agree with that.
because it's not a realistic dream. Getting bit by a spider and jumping off a building. After
you
I'm,
wanted to be James Bond.
no, yes, but that's realistic.
Oh, I see what you
Aye.
mean. Because
That's
it's
realistic.
Like there's.
There's an MI6. I googled MI6. I remember I was like, this is a real motherfucking like.
It's loads more realistic, but it's
Scotland Yard is an actual institution that
I mean,
spies.
you're not wrong.
No, and there's
You're gonna do
weapons
that?
with like suitcase. When you Google suitcase weapon, you see actual agents, like actual Soviet spies at like a marketplace, like filming and shooting arrows. That's realistically happening. And people are having sex. People are like he did.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
and people are
So
all
immediately when you say,
There are super soldiers. I sound like a Republican. There are super soldiers out there.
immediately when you say like an owl is talking, I've never seen an owl
The owl
talk.
doesn't talk in Harry Potter.
But it
delivers mail?
Yeah, like it knows spell. Like you could see, like.
in real life, there's people living under the stairs at the foster house.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's the deeper. But when you're 12, I don't see the deeper shit.
Oh, there wasn't that much deeper shit.
Yeah.
He was clutching at straws there. I'm glad you went.
But like
that,
a
was,
school,
that wasn't me trying to
and that
justify
simsalabim.
the undertones of Harry Potter.
I was not into. But James Bond, it was like such a realistic dream. I didn't have a father. James Bond lost his parents at like a skiing accident.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Batman as well.
still had my mother, but you know, when we went on vacations, I was like going near cliffs, hoping that a trauma would happen, and I would, you know, enroll in like an undercover.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like I go to study as a police officer, but then they go like, "Oh,
You're
you
too
have."
good. You like passed the test on the
Aye,
extra
the
level.
fast track.
Aye.
They recognize like this
It's like in Mission
15-year-old.
Black. You're the one. You're the officer that shot the little girl during the thing. You didn't kill any of the aliens because one was crying. That one was clearly doing this. You saw through the charades. And
Yes. And that was like a realistic dream. You get drafted at some like secret police school.
I can't tell if you're doing a bit or not.
No, it's not.
And this is 100%.
It's not. No, but I'm saying when I'm 12. When I'm 12, James Bond looks realistic, bro.
Yeah.
Like it looks like you could actually.
So what was it? If you're realistic, if this is legit, then if this is earnest, what was your game plan? Because you planned shit out. What are your steps along the way to become?
No, actual police school. But actual police school, yeah. When I was like, I went to enroll at the police school in Estonia. But then, bro, you have to be like an officer, like checking parking tickets for like 10 years.
Oh, really?
To
Did you
even be a
think you-
detective.
Did you think you were going to breeze into it straight from
Because James
school?
Bond was like 25 when he
Yeah.
started missioning, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, or maybe when he was 15 until 25, maybe that's when he
and
was doing
of course,
Aye,
we
that's-
don't see those movies
And of
because it's just him like.
He's getting his masters.
of
Getting his
course, when I
masters as
was
spy.
like, of course, when I was like 14, you know, then I started realizing the reality. But at 12, I was like, you know,
Did you love it? Are you talking like through the? Did you movies obviously, but did you read the books as well?
the Ian Fleming books.
Oh,
I tried, but if you have, you know, I'm one of those generations. We had like, I mean, you had mail and like wooden. You're older than us,
Yeah,
right?
what
much
else?
older,
Yeah, you had
much,
like-
much older.
Yeah, much older. Yeah, yeah. But we were like, my brain is like, because you played video, you played like
Yeah.
first Pac-Man.
Yeah,
Like,
I was there
that
for
came
the-
out when you were.
I was there
you
for
know.
the Spectrum. You used to put cassettes in.
Yeah.
And play it on the.
Like
Like
you-
had it like a rubber keyboard.
You had to go to town hall to play Pong. Like, you know, like,
yeah.
like, and you didn't even get to play. You watched a
Somebody-
scientist play Pong, and you're like, what are the possibilities? You know, like me and him watched Terminator 1. Like, this is dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, remember when you saw it?
I
move?
did. Yeah, we spoke about this in the last one.
shit.
Like, I didn't like Star Wars when it first came out because I
Aye,
was
but
like,
it
these
would have been
graphics
mind
are
blowing to our
shit.
parents.
But like to my parents, it was like, oh.
But
my
to
God.
him,
yeah,
like
to him.
Terminator 1, he was like, it's an
Aye.
actual robot.
Oh man, the T2000, the fucking liquid metal. That was like technology can't get better than this. See, we're watching TV there and going like, this is peak. You cannot get better than that.
But have you watched Avatar recently? Looks like dog shit.
Does
like
it?
PlayStation 3 graphics.
Really?
But remember when it came out, people were like,
Aye.
it is just like real. And it's nothing like
and
real.
that was during that time when they were still so desperately trying to make 3D movies and television happen, and just the public just kept going,
Dude,
we don't
3D movies can go fuck themselves. I'm never wearing those stupid. One time I tried, and it was only a 3D option. And then I have to wear, and my
feel like
head
a
aches.
nerd, yes.
Yeah, and then you look around, all the other grown men with glasses, you know. And it's like the effects are not that good.
And it's like two images, and one's
And
being
it makes
brought
my head
forward.
hurt.
It's not like a rounded 3D. It's like a one thing in front of the other, like a stage set, as if there's waves.
Aye.
And
And I don't even give a fuck about 4K, 8K. 480p was enough to enjoy a movie, you know.
I do like the.
Nah, resolution's got to be tight, man. That's too far. The resolution's got to be good.
I don't care.
Like you say,
and the
maybe
sound
it's not-
system. And when it's too loud, last Bond movie there's an explosion. I was like, it's a bit too loud.
You get
Like-
triggered. It's
No, it's just it's a bit. I can't, you know, it's a bit. I'm high, and it's like
It's intrusive.
We
Yeah.
went to the cinema the other day to watch the. Here's another nerd.
Did we?
No, not me. Me, Cullen, and Gareth went to see the third Lord of the Rings movie, like
Football
literally 2
friends.
weeks ago, and the cinema was absolutely fucking freezing. Like it was, we could. Something must have been wrong. Like it was still September. And
Were you
we're in
watching The Revenant?
It was when they were on Just the Hills, and man, you could almost see our breath. And it was none of us said anything, and nobody else in the cinema said anything. But like when we all came out, somebody just went, "God, it was cold in there," and like 35 people go in. It really was fucking cold in there.
Everyone just dealt with it.
Yeah, just being like, "Oh my God."
There's
it's-
that critical.
That's so Scottish.
Yeah.
That just,
just fucking stubborn the way through it. And it's a long movie.
Pulling
It's
your
the
jacket on a
third
bit
Lord
tighter.
of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
Imagine finding out 20 minutes into Lord of the Rings 3 that it's cold. You're like,
Like-
this is director's cut too. You're like, motherfucker.
Yeah, this is. We did one director's cut, but they did.
Yeah, when they're rushing down the hills, you're still fucking just.
Nobody went to the toilet in the full 3.5 hours because they just pissed themselves to keep warm.
Yeah, aye.
You
And then
to
it froze
You go
on
to the
my
bathroom,
jeans.
you wash your hands like this. You know, when it stings.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what we didn't talk about the other day?
About the blackout in the
Aye.
hotel.
So we
the
went.
power cut.
We were in Belgium, and when we got in, like we'd woken up very early. 'Cause
We'd been to a lock-in, right? Had we not been? It was 4 o'clock in the morning. We'd been to a lock-in at the wine bar.
No, that was the day.
Is that the day after?
Yeah, it was the day we came back from Madrid. So we'd gone out until like 1 a.m. in Madrid, came and then flew at like 6 a.m. So we were very tired. So I went for a nap, and then halfway through my nap, like there was like a knock, and then I just thought it was like housekeeping, but I've just gone in on that day. And it's just this guy's like, "Hello," and I was like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm sleeping." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, just dropping something off." And then he shuts the door, and I go back to my nap. And when I wake up, he's dropped off a bit of paper and a little torch. And it's just like, "We're very sorry, but just to let you know, there's some technical work that has to be done tonight. So it means between 11:30 and 5 a.m. there's going to be no electricity for anything
In the entire building.
So in the entire building. So here's a torch. It just,
How about not open the hotel that day?
right? or like
That is unacceptable.
It's pretty fucking weird.
Also, so Belgian.
No, I think it's fine because look, it's between.
It is very funny.
when you're
It
asleep.
was on a Monday between 11:30 and 5 in the morning. Like I get.
Surely
it.
it's a
They're like-
security
they're
thing
like,
that you
realistically-
can't phone down.
Yeah,
If this was like Bratislava, I would accept this behavior. But
Yeah.
Belgium, I mean, it seems like.
Well, so I think it wasn't
And I
the
mean,
whole building,
it-
like the corridor lights were on.
it
It,
become
was
a-
just the rooms.
Also,
and the
they have
air con-
Snoop Dogg in the hotel. Wouldn't that?
Would you?
Wouldn't that?
Why
They have
do you
literally.
think I'm so
Wouldn't the
famous?
administrator tell the construction? No.
We've got the title of the podcast. It's Snoop Dogg.
Aye. The Scottish Snoop Dogg. No, man, I think.
Yeah.
I think that
What if you're disabled and the lift doesn't work and you're on floor 2 and you're fucking.
Well, we know what happens. So when we fucking get back, the downstairs, the reception lights are on. Like, so it's not the whole building. It's clear they're doing some of the wiring work upstairs. I don't know what it was. And we're on floor 5, and he's like, "Okay, cool, I'll take you." And he opens up the fire exit because the elevators don't work because there's no electricity. And we have to go up 5 fucking flights of stairs.
But it was like,
At,
it was 2 lots of stairs per flight. So you go up one, you're on the middle of a floor.
Aye.
Up one, you're on floor 1.
This motherfucker was in a full suit, like it's a Hilton hotel, right? So he's
Bellboy.
dressed, he's dressed all nice. He's dressed as a fucking bellboy. This cunt was a Sherpa man. Like his
Aye.
mother was a mountain goat. He went up.
He
those
flew up.
stairs at
I
a
was shouting
speed.
up at him.
We had to ask him to slow down.
Aye, you're the one with the
times.
torch. He left me in the fucking pitch black trying to clamber up. Slow down with the torch.
No, the emergency lights were on. We were fine there. But
Emergency lights were on.
yeah. The ones that
The
are like
fire
The
just
fact that
lights.
it's not an emergency and the emergency lights are on, I mean, that's.
They'd stay on all day, Ari. Do you guys save the electricity on your fire exit this way lights?
Your what?
You only have the emergency lights, the
Aye.
fire exit this way. They just stay on 24/7.
Aye. And it was
They're
also,
not like an alarm puts them
Was it a
on.
nice hotel? I mean, it must have been at least a nice one.
It was
Right?
okay.
It's a Hilton, I think.
A
It's also-
Hilton?
Yeah, it's
That as a brand. I mean, Paris would be disappointed. That as a brand, it's like unacceptable.
I just didn't bring it down.
But we're going through a thing of like everywhere we tour is very different. Like, so when we're over in Estonia and Belgium and all these places, we stay at like really nice hotels because in Europe I'm famous, but in the UK I'm not that famous. So we're at the time.
Really?
Well, we're not. I mean,
In
like
England.
in England,
Like in Scotland, you are.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
but not England. England is like England. I'm like, I think Z list, like real, yeah. And it's really weird because I'm very famous in the rest of
Lee
the
Evans
world.
is big in England, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy Carr is big in
Jimmy
England.
Carr is
big in
Boy,
England.
those boys, yeah.
Aye. Who's the biggest Estonian comedian? Is it you?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Aye, you took it.
Stand up wise,
Who-
but not like
So
celebrity or
so that
nothing.
happened in-
Stand up is a niche market.
That happened in recent years then, because you haven't been around that long. Who,
Yeah.
who did you overtake? Who was your guy? Who was your best?
Nobody overtook. I mean, it's just
You
we're
must
all
have-
working the same.
You're growing up together because it's comedy's in its infancy.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. We have
there
like
wasn't like an old guard.
I mean, we have like 3 to 4 professionals, five professionals now. I
So
would
it's
say.
still really new here.
We're growing the audience as you're speaking into it. You know, there's still
It's grown, like we've watched it grow. Every time we come
and
back.
it's a really cool way to do a scene because you've all grown the audience. Whenever there's like a new comedian that comes,
yeah. You
in,
did like Athena, which was like 300. Just,
That felt huge at the time as well.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no, the first time we were in Estonia was always remember it being
In like a
we
hangar?
sold 650 because we
Yeah.
couldn't. It was the biggest gig we'd ever fucking done.
But not the first time, no.
It was in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
hangout with Bleacher Seating.
No.
Remember
no.
Lewis jumped up and done the starting bit?
Yeah.
That was still big.
Aye.
That was the warehouse looking guy.
Aye.
Yeah, Vabala. I
Was that
remember
not
that.
650?
Was that the next time we come back then, the 2015 year?
Maybe.
So 2014 we did that size.
I don't think that's 650.
No,
But it was still a big audience,
Aye.
like for sure.
it was certainly our biggest audience. That
For
we-
sure. I mean, it was big for sure. And then when I started doing some gigs in Lithuania and Poland and stuff, I think we did,
Paulius?
yeah, with Paulius especially, yeah. And then I did like similar rooms as you. And then I kind of realized that, well, also Estonia it's very rare that we have such success. If you watch go to ticket sales, and in the top 5. It's always like top 4 are stand-up comedy. Like all the actors are doing comedy because now when they realize. I mean, I'm sure it happened in Scotland, but that happened in the 90s for you guys.
Yeah.
When famous people figured out that, oh my God, this is not a play. You can just grab a mic, sell with your famous name, and then just shit in their mouth. But you can
'cause
pump
you were
out some money, bro.
You were saying it. Who was it? Was it Rob Schneider that you saw here that was apparently fucking horrendous?
Oh, Pablo Francisco. I mean, lots of those guys have come through, but
Yeah.
that's during the boom even.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill
But
Burr
like
came here.
so Rob Schneider bombed?
Well,
He doesn't listen to this.
listen, for you,
I'm never
Snoop
gonna
Dogg,
meet him.
yeah, you can talk shit about T-Pain. You know, he's the
You
T-Pain.
can talk shit. Anyone can talk shit about Rob Schneider.
I might have a big opportunity
You
with Mr.
have-
Schneider. I've heard he's a nice guy. I've heard he's a nice guy. And he's
Off there.
anti-vax. He's anti-vax.
Is he?
Yes, which is
Great.
my crowd. I would have a lots to talk. Also, he does clubs, and I've heard when I land in Miami, I might see him at a mic.
So
know.
you say you're not anti-vax, but your crowd are anti-vax.
No, but I can relate to those, people. You are very strongly opinionated. Like, no, but racism bad. I am open to a I need to still grow my crowd.
Yeah.
I'm at your DVD, Tokyo Motel. The band Tokyo Motel. When you had your hair. You're at that. I'm at that phase where you were then, and at that point you would not open the show with Brexit, fuck.
Yeah.
You would be like, England is a nice. You would not say fuck London like you did. Very disrespectfully.
Oh,
last night.
don't let our English listeners know how much I change the set when I'm outside of England.
Are you going to do England like you did Spain? You're gonna
No, I do.
You're gonna
man.
cut off countries one
No,
by
no,
one
it's
until
good
you've got
because
no fans left.
What the joke in the fucking show in the UK is that scientists have found out that the lowest form of creature that is capable of laughter is a Tory, right? And it's just it's a fucking cheap joke, and I call out that it's
What's
a
a
fucking
Tory?
cheap joke. Tories, the Conservative government.
The current government,
So
voters
our-
of the
Oh,
current
the
government.
Tories. I think there's a
Boris
series
Johnson.
called The Tories.
Aye, the Tory. Right. So that's that joke when it's in England and Scotland. But when I'm in the rest of the world, it's the lowest form of creature that's capable of laughter is an Englishman. And it gets a bigger round of applause because the rest of the world hates England. And I don't have time to really explain what a Tory is.
Estonians, we don't like England too. Stag parties. You guys ruined a lot of things, a lot of the image, because for us you were so classy on television.
Yeah,
James Bond.
Like no, but all of it so classy. Like the Blackadder, Rowan Atkinson, so smart.
Monty Python.
So Monty Python, Benny Hill. You know, that funny, you know, like clever,
chasing
like
women.
sketch. That was cool. That was very cool. And then the Thames logo and the beginning of Benny Hill were like, and then the you have like beautiful stuff and like old buildings and a queen, you know, shit like that. So for us, it was always like the ones that are coming over, like Hercule Poirot, you know, like, ooh, they're like with a suit. And then when the borders opened up and stag parties started coming through. I was a bartender for 6 years and motherfucker, the shit started.
My luck spoiled it.
Yeah, your accent used to like do serious trauma for me when you started speaking.
Because the stag parties,
because Geordies would come in, day out, with, and the way you dress, like, you know, like fucking ballet skirt, balls out in the old town. That's invaded. Not the British I expected.
Getting invaded by Geordie stag parties is such a funny insight into fucking.
Because we didn't even know that that's like
the side of us. You didn't know that was a side of us.
They were wearing mankinis before the movie Borat came out.
And like, very obnoxious. You know, like that. You know, have that. Like British people have that imperialistic confidence because you conquered, because it's in your blood to be better.
If you have to scroll down to click United Kingdom, that's how imperialistic we are. United Kingdom's got to be at the top on any of the scroll down lists on a form.
To be fair, that does do my fucking nine. I'm like, you know where I'm from.
I put it at the top.
It's like Russian people go to like Egypt, Thailand, you know, they dominate. Like they'll talk Russian long enough for that the signs to turn Russian. Have you seen like Russian signs in Egypt? And you're like, why is there? And then the Egyptian guy goes, you know, здравствуйте. Because they just steamroll that place until you start speaking Russian.
Come here, guy.
Americans go to, and then Australians go to like Indonesia. You know, like when when I went to Bali and I saw like Australians there, I was like, I understood the bombings, you know, like it was a bad look, you know, like fucking bars. And then, but for Europe, it's for sure British stag parties that do that shit where they just come in like by the thousands too. And then when Ryanair came around, I was a bartender when Ryanair opened. That was a serious hit to my mental health. Because
you're just like, oh fuck, there's gonna be
they can
more.
Get here for 12 quid.
They can come here on a whim. Because they don't even have to save up.
Because before you had to, you know, British Airways, you had to SIS, you had to use Finnair, you had to use. It was mostly like a connection or a weekend getaway, at least weekend. But Ryanair, you know, they put like Monday 6 a.m. flight. So now I'm like opening the bar at 10 a.m., like putting the coffee machine ready, and you guys come in like, you know, doing Jaeger shots and shit, and just so disrespectful. It's crazy.
Have you ever flown on one of them flights by accident? You've just been getting on a flight home from England or something, but you're accidentally on the stag do flight.
I was by accident on like some flight from London Stansted to Stockholm, and you know I don't follow soccer, but there was like a soccer game.
The fact you call it soccer is proof enough.
The soccer game was like happening in Sweden, in the fucking Norrköping or whatever, the small airport. You know, Ryanair puts you in the middle of a fucking field. It was like they'll be like, yeah, you go to Sweden, but not the Sweden you think. You know?
Oh, what's that? Who wants a flight home immediately? Guess how much that one cost, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're landing in a warehouse in the middle of Norway. Like, you know,
just walk through the fields to get to the town.
And when you say which way is Oslo, they go like Oslo. You know. And by accident, like you described, that was by accident. And because you're such like your middle class is rich, there's so many, you're such a well-off economy as well. There'll be like groups of 40. I would never in my life be able to convince 3 of my friends to get at the same time, because we all have work. We all have, you know, like real jobs.
Make a plan. Tell everybody to save the dates.
There's
Take a
no
time off
saving
work.
the date
Take
if you do 2 jobs for
Take-
like
take-
3 euros an hour.
that's
There's
what
no
he said.
Oh, you
saving.
can't take holidays.
No. He's saying we have the economy.
Aye,
'cause
to
we're
have
so
holidays
fucking
and a
middle
to
disposable
class.
like
income.
do a getaway in Sweden.
Hey man, this is where our stag do's come. Of course, they don't have the fucking economy to. The
Yeah.
reason our
Aye.
stag do's come here is because the flights
don't
are
have the
cheap
economy.
and the booze is.
And then it
cheap.
pumps up the economy. So it's like a little like reverse leech.
Yeah,
Aye.
like we go on a cruise. That's our budget. We do like a 1-day cruise to Stockholm and back, right? But not even stop in Stockholm. We just want to drink on the boat. That's our teenage years. Like maybe I think some stags in Estonia might do that. And you'll get like 5 of your buddies. Best chance, 5.
Aye.
But you guys, and that flight, I remember, I was like, does everybody know here each other?
Aye.
And just crazy. But it was
So
kind of fun.
Is there people not going on your stag do in Estonia then? If you kind of get that much hustle to get people together, if you go, oh, it's Ari's stag do, you know, is there that many people going, oh, I've got 2 jobs, I can't get time off, don't have the money? Or do people try
this
and
would
make
be
it
a big
happen?
stag party. Like
Yeah.
if this was my stag party, they'd
This
be
is
like,
it.
they'd be like
Congratulations.
Daniel and Kai. They must really appreciate you.
Here's an ignorant question: how old is Estonia? How long has?
1992.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was
Damn.
like founded again.
I'm older than Estonia.
True.
Fucking hell.
But before it existed, and then the Soviet occupation.
What were you
happened.
Yeah.
born then?
I was 1992, the liberation year.
Oh,
So
were
you're,
you-
let's start
you're the,
fucking-
Were
you're
you
the
a liberation
debutante.
baby?
You're the liber-
I am the baby.
oh, so
When
you're
I came out, they said we must free these people.
Estonia's age is your age.
Yes, I think.
Wow.
I think. See, of course, you know, Estonians are gonna listen to this, and they're very like, those small independent countries. They're always very patriotic, so they'll be like 1991, 20th August, actually.
Aye.
Whatever.
You can tell me about small
Aye.
nationalistic.
So that
countries,
means
I'm
you were
aware.
born into it rather than just before it, like you were just to say.
Well, just a fascinating country to be born into, in the sense of like,
Yeah.
imagine figuring out currency, like in the 90s already.
Man.
Yeah.
Like,
And you're helping it
Just,
grow
yeah,
with
you're
the
just
comedy
having
scene.
to just suddenly make new bits of money.
and
Did you have your
imagine
own
like
currency?
stealing in the 90s.
Did
how
you have your own
easy-
currency? Did you make one?
We made one.
Yeah, because it's euros
And-
now, isn't it?
Yeah, it used
Yeah.
to be Kronos, but we just watched other. We even took the anthem. We have the same anthem as Finland. Have you ever heard of that? Because we didn't have time to come up with
You
it.
copy and pasted another country's anthem.
Literally the same anthem. Can you
off.
believe that? And we have no relation to Finland.
What about when you play each other? Do you sing it once, then again, or do you sing it together?
Oh, bro! When a Finnish guy like wins Formula, we're still like, oh shit,
Oh wow!
Yeah. But imagine how mad the
How
Finnish
did
are.
that happen?
And Finnish people are mad because I'm half Finnish.
Is the word Finland in the song at any point?
As a
and you
country-
change it to Estonia?
No,
Is
we
it
just translated
like-
the words. But it was, but it's such an Estonian thing to do, because what a lot of these small Soviet countries do as well culturally is like, like we copy. I don't know. Maybe I don't think if Scots do that, but we copy everything. Like we copy everything. Like all of our hits, all of our pop music. It's all like translations.
You don't have any creativity coming out of it until now.
No, because it's just like that was so easy to do. Like there'd be so many artists like, flying to America, like flying to America, that's like a big thing back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And they would come back and all of a sudden have this inspiration, like summer of 72. And you're like, oh my God, how is he not more famous? He's so good, And you sing the song and then you turn like 15 and then you find out. Like when I started listening to Rolling Stones, I was like,
Yeah, I can't believe this.
all, everybody.
Because, man, this is Paul Snedden, who does Vladimir McTavish, has a story about a time. I think he was in Finland. Like, he went over to Finland, did a set, had a Finnish opener for him, and then went back 5 years later, had the same guy open for him. And then when he went on stage, like, his jokes didn't go down well. And it was because the Finnish guy had been doing his material. Yeah,
since
just
the
watched
first time
him,
he opened.
wrote it down, and they've been doing it all around
Damn.
fucking Finland.
Wow,
Finnish.
his stuff so like depends on being Scottish
Oh, I think this
too.
was a while ago. And aye.
So you
but
must
I
have
think-
translated it to be
Oh,
about
that
Finland.
happens a lot in the smaller countries as well, especially. I mean, but in every art form, that sort of stuff happens. It's just
Aye.
plagiarism is a big.
Mike Birbiglia didn't commission, but like some Mexican guy, Mexican comedian said to Mike Birbiglia, "Can I do your show, the new one, in Mexican?" And Mike Birbiglia was like, "Yeah, sure." And then genuinely helped him translate it, and that guy's now doing a run of.
Nice. It's like franchised it almost
like, well,
in a different language.
Yeah, we didn't commission it, but I think the guy was just like, "Look, I think that I'm a Mexican comedian. This is a fucking great show, but there's just people won't." people don't have that grasp of English over here. These people, but if you let me check, Mexican, Spanish. Listen to me speaking Mexican. Sorry, Spanish.
There we
What
go.
a fucking idiot. Aye, just trying to fucking. Wait, did you have your own language, or did you?
Yeah,
that,
no,
have
no,
you just
language was
invented
always
that?
there.
Yeah,
was always there.
Right.
It's just that the Soviets came in and took the structure. So communism, I mean, there was currency, but it's state controlled, and coupons for food, and so it's very. I love the. It's so exciting for me that like how far are you from severe trauma, generationally? Like what is it? When was Mel Gibson Screaming on the Mountain?
Like that kind of trauma, like Worf, the fucking World
but,
War.
But then again, wait, Second World War.
we were in World War
You
II.
guys did some. Yeah. So that was a lot of trauma, right?
Yeah.
Do you have like a grandfather that goes into a flashback sometimes? Or?
No, he wasn't. Both my grandparents were alive during World War II, but were like bunker babies sort of thing. They were like, I think my gran was 8 and my grandpa must have been about 10 during World War II. So theirs was just like, we remember Glasgow getting bombed a bit.
So that does something culturally and generationally. That does something. That's always exciting for me to like.
Yeah, it's nice hearing stories from the old people. Like my granddad was in the RAF and that, and he used to train pilots with the. He never left England. He flew and told the targets. Spitfire pilots would shoot at the target, and he'd winch it in and check the scores. So that was his job in the war. It was fucking classy. He loved it.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, I remember somebody else telling me that their grandfather was a pilot of a Spitfire, and then he would get like a new Spitfire, and it'd be like, was there a big hole right here? And they said, to drain out the blood of the last guy who got shot.
Yeah.
And he was like, damn. Like that's to hear that and then go and fly.
Yeah.
Specific type of person. But so that's your grandfather.
So my granddad was he was safe the majority of the time, worried about invasion and stuff, but he's on English land.
But
in Estonia.
Sometimes trauma can also be like you said, just being a bunker baby. I mean, imagine that concept of a childhood compared to the one that and that's a very short time to change, like grandfather. But for me, my mother and my our fathers and mothers saw tanks on the streets. So it's very close. So imagine how quick the transition is to year 2002, South Park, American culture, all the free world.
Yeah.
But taxes just coming around. Taxes came around early 2000s, really? Because they were figuring it out. Imagine starting a country just like this and just trying to find a prime minister, trying to copy systems.
Who wants to be prime minister? Do we not want a king? I don't think we have enough time for a royal family.
Exactly.
Unless we start one now.
And that
Does
was
anyone want to
in
be
the
royal?
90s. Everybody's already so developed.
Yeah.
And just first growing. Imagine how easy, all these stories about how easy it was to steal. I mean, imagine if the fucking guy you went to high school with is trying to figure out the government, and you're like, we can steal for the next.
Yeah,
So
the laws went in place for
2001,
stuff.
all of this going on, and culturally, and imagine being a mother or somebody in their 50s now, how much shit you've seen change, so quickly. Go to an iPad from coupons for bread.
Is that catching up fast,
Aye.
Oh, catching up fast, but also imagine all the trauma that lives to my generation, right? And I'm not saying that we're all shell shocked. We're very European kids, but trying to relate to a generation that's so close to us with time, but yet so far culturally.
Yeah, because you've grown up in freedom and they grew
so
up
free. South Park, Chappelle's show, on Kazaa and LimeWire, iMesh. You would download Eddie Murphy, listen to that.
Meanwhile, that your dad only could watch how many fucking TV stations, or was it just whatever?
It was one guy that said "Love Russia,"
just playing 24/7.
And then, but then there's a lot of. But I'm not complaining. It's just a very interesting thing of the remnants of culture that get dropped here.
And if plagiarism was a big part of the culture just because you're trying to build and copy, did that mean when you started stand-up you thought it was okay to copy jokes?
Well,
did you actually do it until you found out that it's not?
Well, I did a gig. Yes. I did a gig somewhere. It was, I think, 10 years ago or something. I flyered. I thought I'm doing comedy. That was when I wanted to be UFC champion of the world.
Oh, yeah.
And then I
give up on being James Bond.
James Bond dreams are over. It's
no.
UFC now.
James Bond, UFC. I'm going to be middleweight, easy win. KO with my raw Estonian power. And then I'm going to outsmart the light heavyweight. It's going to be it's going to be a big guy. I'm not going to say the race. It's going to be a big, a big, powerful guy. But I'm going to GSP him because I'm very Game plan heavy, you know.
It's not going to be a good one for the spectator, but for the purist.
Yeah.
Purist's going to love it.
The purist is gonna love it. 5 rounds of neutralization.
Yeah.
But the middleweight one, I'm gonna just gonna fucking out.
Announce yourself.
You know that Shogun tap, you know, when it's bloody on the ground?
Yeah,
You know that tap? When
Rory
you-
McDonald fell forward.
that I'll do that to a man. At middleweight, and then light heavyweight, smart it out, and then retire, and then do HBO, like a special.
And then bring out proper 13
Because
whiskey.
I watched a little bit of Bill Burr. I didn't get it. He was yelling. He's one of my favorites now, of course.
yeah.
I didn't get it. Very angry. But when you watch Mr. Dave Chappelle, when you watch Mr. Eddie Murphy, the confidence, the pizzazz. It almost seems, you know, like imagine being an Estonian kid downloading. So what I wanted to get is Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
I put in Eddie Murphy into Kazaa.
You
Remember
got,
Kazaa?
you got delirious.
Yeah.
So no. What happened is there was like an audio file, and it just said Eddie Murphy grandmother. That's all it said. It was a track from his album. This is Eddie Murphy, and it's about the grandmother falling down the stairs. Right?
Not heard that, but
Yeah, it's just an old bit, you know, falling down. It's the delirious are Goonie Goo Goo, all that shit. So I listened to that, and I'm like rolling on the floor laughing. Right? I start to listen some more, and then I found another audio file, Dave Chappelle, for what it's worth, and it was the bit, "Hey baby, I'm selling weed, neighbor," you know, like that part.
I just got what you did there. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm selling weed, Nintendo. You know, like, it's the word. But imagine just listening to an audio, Estonian child just learning English, and imagine how much culture you have to transcend to understand. I don't know even what the projects mean, but his delivery is so strong that even a 13-year-old Estonian
That doesn't
kid
get the culture.
will fall out of the chair laughing. And what that does to your brain, and I'm like, what is this? I just remember, because English was such a foreign language, I just remember hearing like the pace.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not many movies or like American culture that are songs, or like there's something about the pace that makes me laugh.
Yeah, the cadence and the delivery. That's why, man, I love watching, whenever we watch any other comedians doing comedy in a foreign language, even though I don't understand any of the jokes.
Start laughing with the audience.
You
Because
do.
you feel the rhythm.
Because they're saying something and you're just watching a performer.
And you can tell the type of laugh it is as well.
Yeah.
Like whether it's something rude or shocking.
It's fucking fascinating. Like, I mean, we've told this story 1,000 times, but when we were doing Iceland, there was Ari.
Another Ari.
Yeah.
Ari.
Ari Ekelund, he's on Netflix now.
Yeah. So he opened up and we were watching when he was killing, man. Like, he was fucking blowing the roof off the place.
All in Icelandic.
All in Icelandic, except for one bit, right? And he just, at one point, 5 minutes into his set, he just goes, "Yo, motherfucker, I'm a flower." And the room explodes.
Goes in English,
went
yeah,
nuts.
that was the only bit
that's
in
in English. And I thought what he'd done is in Icelandic, said to the audience, there's 2 English comedians back there, they're going to come on, Daniel and Kai.
Two English comedians, you fucking cunt. Fucking think I'd let that slip.
He doesn't, this is him speaking.
Aye.
This is him speaking in a
Oh,
hypothetical bit in a different language.
Aye, he would have been...
He said, English comedian Daniel Sloss and his sidekick.
Don't soften the blow, it still hurts.
In the wings and they're listening in English. Sorry, English speaking comedians.
Aye.
And I'm about to say something in English that they'll think is the punchline. So you guys have just got to die laughing because they're back there. And he just went, "Yo, motherfucker, I'm a flower." And then they go nuts because it's part of the setup.
No, but turns out it was a
wasn't
legit
that.
fucking joke, and he does it. And we came off, and we were like, and we told him the story. He's like, "Oh, that's so funny." And he started to tell us the joke, and we were like, "Don't tell us. Like,
Never tell us the
it'll
joke.
Never, but it'll ruin it. You'll never.
Because in your head,
It'll never be as funny.
It's
as,
already
as my
somewhere
imagination.
special.
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but when you clarify it, I'll go. All the mystery's gone.
Yeah.
All the wondering
Wow.
and the myth of the fucking joke.
Aye.
To be fair, 2 years ago when I was in Melbourne, I asked him what it was. I thought, no, I didn't. I went to see him live.
It's something to do with
And
the national anthem, isn't it?
Aye, and he translated it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, good joke, but I was gutted because it's like finding out God wasn't real.
yeah.
It's like finding out Louis C.K. was Louis C.K.
That's funny. the first time I saw Louis C.K., it was like, so I started here and I didn't know what I was doing, but then I moved to Melbourne because of an American girl. Like, yeah. In
You
Thailand.
went to America for her?
No, to Australia.
Oh, that's why you were in Australia, got you.
So yeah.
So you went there with a girl?
I met her in like Thailand, like hostel, like, and Eastern European guy, American, and she's like half Mexican, so crazy and very, she like taught me to steal properly from grocery stores because I thought I'm gonna get shot. Like that's my
She
trauma.
taught you how to shoplift?
Yeah, but like morally. Like, because I always thought shoplifting very bad. You
Like stealing cigarettes
You can't
and
do it. But then she was like, no, but this is Woolworths. Like, it's a corporation. Fuck them. Fuck the system.
They went bust.
They did?
Yes.
Ari, look what you did!
Listen, I put speakers through as carrots in the self-checkout.
No, he means Woolworths in Australia. They're still. He didn't cripple Woolworths.
Oh, okay.
That's a supermarket.
But
Woolworths in the UK.
And she was like, that store, like closed store, secondhand, never steal. But like, well, fuck, the system, and then taught me to like just self-checkout, right?
Yeah.
And I was surprised that it came to Estonia, but we still have one guard that checks all of the fucking things, and you have to have that guy.
They seem to trust us now.
Well,
It is an honesty box, that thing, like.
no, I mean it's the most annoying thing in the world where because there's no self-service check. God, no, let's not do this. I'm
No,
refused
we
to-
can't.
no,
I can't.
No, that's all.
That's the end of it. We're not doing self-serve checkout. We're not.
I've just called it self-service checkout is hack.
It's been
in the
done,
UK.
man. It's fucking over.
It's our generation's. What's the deal with airplane food?
Very, very
It
much
would,
so.
it would have been nice to chat about, but it's not worth
Yeah,
getting
no,
there.
we can. I
Nah,
can't. I cannot be clipped. There could not be footage of me out there talking about self-service
doing
checkout
that. Do I work here?
Oh.
When do I start my shift?
Yeah,
unexpected item in the bagging area. Joke about that.
Yeah, it's the punchline
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. What next? You want me to fill the shelves, man?
Exactly that. That's what we're about to start doing.
Yeah, I know. That's always what
Gotta nip that right in the fucking bud.
We're just having an earnest conversation about it, and then
Oh yeah, so you've started the stand-up scene here with like 5 other comics, the ones that we've known. For
No,
the
we
past-
didn't start together even.
No?
It wasn't that organized. See, there was Comedy Estonia, and I remember I saw at the show, like the first show was like,
Nice.
do you know Ahmed Baran?
No. Oh, I recognize the
Yeah,
name.
he's like a Swedish comedian. Very funny, very funny. And he was like the first guy I saw live doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Right? But I still didn't get it. In my head, I was like, oh, it's just talking, telling some anecdotes, like anecdotes.
Yeah.
And then just like, so in my head, I was like, oh, this is pretty easy. I'm like pretty funny at the wrestling gym.
Yeah.
Like
it's-
in the gym room, I can like hold my court.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something
amongst
that happens,
your
right?
friends.
Yeah.
Get them guys to come watch you the first few times so that you're guaranteed a laugh.
Well, yeah. And the first time I went on stage, I did an hour, because I didn't even know you just don't do that.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Wow.
man, you
Was
didn't
it
get-
just you though, or was
Just
it like
me.
Oh, well, that's
And I flyered.
yeah.
So your
flyers-
first
I packed it. It was
your
like
first
8
gig was a solo show, hour,
I did hour.
self-produced.
And how did it go?
You've never.
45 minutes in, I turned it into a quiz show out of panic.
Oh, really?
Because it had to
Was
have
that
a
your-
narrative.
Was that your contingency plan before the gig? If it
No,
all goes
because,
south?
no, of course not. Because if you're having like a panic attack and you're trying to it's like 80 people too, and you're trying to put together a show. But think about, I don't even know what a show is, a starting, a beginning.
Yeah.
And when you're like going,
You had no opener. You were just like, just me. I'll go in and talk.
I didn't know. What's an opener? What's like
Sorry,
a working microphone? What's
Aye.
a stage? None of that. I just got up at a bar
Yeah.
and just like 45 minutes in, I looked down. I remember there was like a pool of sweat around my belly. I've never seen that part sweat.
It's just your belly, not like the V on your chest. Like,
The V on my chest, yeah, that's what I normally get. But now it was like here. Like, when you're having such a bad panic attack that even your pores are like, I don't.
I'll go out of any pole.
How did it go? Like, was it
They
good?
started doing a
Turned
quiz.
it into a quiz show. How do you think it went?
How would you think your gig went last night if you ended up doing a quiz at the end?
Out of panic. Like, okay.
I thought maybe like you ran out of material 45 minutes in, that had gone well, and then you were like, all right, well, we've got 15 minutes left, so let's fill it with a quiz.
Then
show.
my
I thought
first
you
question.
You've got to prepare a quiz.
Yeah,
What was your question?
But I didn't say like, I said now it's the quiz part. Like I just lied. And my first question, I remember what was my first question. Out of panic, I asked, what is Super Mario? What the fuck kind of
What is?
I didn't know a gig could go this bad.
Yeah, but And then I asked some
It's a
other
new level.
questions, and then I even calculated the number. People were very confused. you know.
Aye.
And then I remember the bartender told me, "You ain't no Jimmy Carr." It's a very funny thing to say.
So have you met any of those people since like
There
you
were
got good?
lots of
or-
ex-friends there. Ex.
You cut them out.
Are they shocked to see how well you're doing now after that?
There is one girl that comes to every show I do, and she's like flabbergasted at what happened.
Yeah.
Like she's like, because she went and she's told me the story. She's like, I went home and I was like, dude, I saw the crazy. And she came the next time too, brought more friends.
Yeah.
I did more people the next time because people were like, this is the weirdest, bad. Like, wow.
You were so bad at selling tickets.
Yeah.
You were a sideshow.
People wanted to see the car crash.
And then, but of course, in my head, no realization of what comedy is. I was like, I'll do 8 gigs. You know, I booked 8 gigs.
You booked a tour?
So after I did a poster, and after the first one, I went home and it was like a life-changing experience. You know, when your ears are ringing, you're laying back in your
In at the
bed.
deep end.
It's like crazy. No, and you know when your friends don't talk to you after, well, you don't. But
Fuck yeah, man.
but then I did and then the second one sold more. But then it was a slow fizzle out to like 16 people. On
Could
the
your friends?
show.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
right? Could friends not talk to you anymore because they were embarrassed?
No, I mean I was a good. Let's say the good friends did that thing where they go like, no, there was something, you know.
Yeah. Hear 'em out.
They believe in you.
That's
And
nice.
they just go, look, that was obviously, objectively, that was shit, but we still, like, Little Ali has been like that for me throughout my career, where it was just like, when I was early on, he was like, man, like, you'll do good eventually,
Aye.
but that wasn't the best. Aye.
Do you have them mates that still like come and watch you bomb early doors and they're still
man,
like
Ali's seen me do fucking gigs to fucking 4 or 5 people, like, and, and he's
Matty's
very
seen
proud
us eat
now,
dirt as
aye.
well. Like,
Aye.
And then I remember I started listening to because of MMA, I started listening to Joe Rogan, right? I mean, well, that's how I found out about Ahmed Berhan. That's how I saw you guys. Because we just listened to Joe Rogan. That's why I find out about stand-up. And then you hear people talking about sets, you know, stuff. And then like the paradigm shift in my head where I'm like, now, I understand the context that it's an art form.
you hadn't read the manual?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I moved to Melbourne with that American girl, you know, together.
Yeah,
and then we
start
by
shoplifting.
by accident we moved across the street from the Comics Lounge.
Yeah.
And then I
Great.
signed
Nice
up,
club, good
open
club.
mic, went to the workshop. And a lot of people shit on workshops, but
I do.
yeah, of course. It's no, if you're on being at a workshop is like being on Reddit at the stand-up forum. You're not gonna make it. You know, if you're like a moderator.
Oh,
on a forum-
I went on one, but like when I
You
was
do a
there,
good workshop, I think. You've got
Aye.
such a good comedy knowledge.
Yeah.
You'd be able to like impart good advice if
Yeah,
you took
the,
a workshop.
The reason comedy workshops are shit is because none of the comedians giving them are good comedians or successful.
Occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally. You get the occasional.
I just saw that in as a
I remember
disclaimer though.
Nick Cody was a good one. That was a
did
good
he?
one.
Yeah, he'd be good.
No, I stand. No, I'm down on this hill.
No, true. I mean,
Anyone?
That failure.
Aye, that fucking dog shit
tapped out.
hack. That. I love you, Nick.
no, but he was very good.
Aye.
He said a very
He would be
funny,
good?
He said a very funny phrase. It was like my second workshop ever. He said like, if you don't quit, you win. Like something like that. And I remember being like, oh, like that's you know how you get better. At some point you're gonna get better.
Yeah. And also, man, you just like that's what I always say to a bit of advice to every new comedian. Like, what's it? I'm like, man, just go on stage. Go on stage and get used to
Gig all you can. Gig to anybody that'll listen.
The only secret to comedy is the more you do it, the better you get at it. Like it's just.
And even the workshop, I mean, you got up in front of the other workshop.
If that gets you stage time, it's worth doing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that was like a comfortable because my English was. I mean, it was. It wasn't good. It was okay, but not like performative because I don't know how I sound in English and all that. So
You sound good. I mean, we've got you on our podcast.
But
I mean, the Americans will struggle because they're.
They'll
thick.
understand you more than me.
Yeah, they genuinely will.
but
Because you learned English from like American TV shows and British TV shows, and he learned it from other thick morons.
Miners.
the bum screaming on the street. That's your linguistic.
Aye, people the coal miners and the povs.
Pit yackers taught me how to speak.
Who?
Pit yak, pit talk.
Got you.
But that was, and then I remember I went there, and then I got Louis C.K. tickets, and you know, because I didn't have enough money to buy them, not even the nosebleeds. You know, when people say like, "Oh,
What was his
shit.
ticket price?
Like $100.
quid.
Yeah.
$100 per 100 Australian dollars.
Yeah, okay.
That's not in my realm at that point.
Yeah,
I am
that's
stealing
a lot of
carrots.
work.
We were stealing avocados.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. I mean, I was like hostel backpack life.
Yeah.
That was not in my world. But there's this website, Gumtree, you know, and that was actually how I started making money in Australia. Is that, do you know Gumtree? It's like Craigslist.
Yeah.
So, because I was like kind of fascinated with computers, I found out there's just so many MacBooks being sold on Gumtree. Like every day, like in Estonia, you have like one MacBook a month at the forum. You know,
Oh, right.
like,
and you've got to get in there quick and be the highest bidder.
highest bidder, and it's expensive, and it's like it's
But
not
in-
the newest model.
But in Melbourne, it's a buyer's market.
It's such a diverse market, and also there will be like these housewives that are selling their kids MacBooks, and because MacBooks are so similar, often people put the wrong number.
Yeah.
You know, like they go, "I have a MacBook," but they don't even say Pro.
Yeah.
But then from the picture you can tell it's a Pro Retina model, which was the first high resolution screen. It's a bit thinner, but looks similar but a bit thinner.
Yeah.
And then they post like $1,000, so I can already make, let's say, $400.
Aye.
So
But-
you catch them, buy them, and then sell them
but
properly.
no. But I write to them with my cold Estonian heart. I write to them like, "Hey, like 400," and then they go, "That's too low." And I go like, "Well, you know, it's like an older model. It's not an older model."
So you're good.
Yeah.
Aye.
You just know they know nothing about it.
Yeah.
And then I would buy.
Yeah,
I had like
preying on
seven.
preying on
That's not.
stupidity.
Hey. That's
Preying on
not-
stupidity doesn't
that's-
feel bad.
Yeah, and that's stone cold capitalism, baby. And that's
Capitalism, and
what we're all
also
about
I would pick these MacBooks up. I had like 7 MacBooks within 1 week because I went ape
here.
shit.
You're just doing Bitcoin with.
Yes, but also I was picking these MacBooks up, going by like bus, you know, not buying the ticket in the back, you know, just standing with my backpack, going to these fancy fucking mansion houses with a gate, you know, like I like that I pointed at you fucking gate.
I like this guy.
He's
He said it last night when we were out drinking. Because Ari stayed with me for a month during the Fringe 1 year, and God, we smoked a lot of fucking weed then. And I was like, "You need to come and see the new place." He just went, "I bet you have a gate." And I was
An
like,
electric
"Oh,
gate.
I do have a gate." You've absolutely nailed me.
Yeah. And then I would like press, and then some mother comes out, just give him, doesn't even care about the cash, doesn't count it, you know, doesn't count the cash. That's like, that's Australia. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I had like 7 laptops that I was shuffling off. So there was one that was like a bit dented, but because MacBooks have an aluminum body, which is good for sustainability, because when it drops, it absorbs the impact. Plastic, you know, gives it through, so the fucking
Shocks through it.
shocks through it, right? So it was like lots of dents, you know. And that was also very like when I saw how people handle their iPhones in like Australia, because the pay is so much higher, but you know, iPhones are the same price everywhere because it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It's
Otherwise you get them imported.
It's like a McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
For you, McDonald's is a shit place because it's £1 burger.
Yeah.
€1, now it's €1 burger. €1, we make $2.88 an hour. So that's 50%.
Half an
That's
hour's
not
work.
that cheap. Like if I was 17 and I took my girl out to a McDonald's and said, not the dollar menu, the euro menu, I go like, whatever you want.
Get a chicken legend if you want, babes.
Oh, that's like
Valentine's Day.
$4.90 for a chicken burger. That's like 2-hour wage.
Yeah.
You know, that's a fancy restaurant.
Yeah, and it's right beside that fucking weird flower market you guys have got.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi 24/7 Christmas New Year.
There's a 24 hours a day, 7 day a week.
And there's
Massive
like
flower
market shop
22
in
flower
town.
places.
Yeah, not just one
Yeah.
stall, like a whole row of people.
They're
with-
all competing.
I
That's got to be a front. That's
not a market
something
for that.
Russian.
That's not
I
a
saw
market.
one opening last week, like the 23rd. I was like, who
Are they Russian that do it?
It's got to be
All
a
of
money
them.
laundering.
Right, so that's a money laundering
who
thing.
looks at that like
Aye.
22 flower stands and goes like, you know what?
I reckon I can compete. Like I think these are still
Who's the
very
22nd
fertile
one?
waters.
Pink fucking dandelions.
I want to see what I've got.
We need to go into the fucking Patreon.
Wrap this up and do the Patreon.
Do you want to? Do you have anything to plug?
No,
Ari?
no.
No, you don't. Well, I guess. Are you doing any comedy in English anytime soon?
Yeah, I am doing I'm doing the Belgium. I'm doing something in London. Yeah.
Great.
And say your name again because you know I can't do it.
Just say Ari Matti. That's
Ari
basically-
Matti, that's the-
ARIMATTI.
Must have
Right,
been.
Fuck the
so that's a
last
podcast. Cheers, Ari.
Oh, thanks for having me. It
Hold
was
on,
fun.
I'm going to read out the American dates.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll save the dad jokes.
I didn't write any.
Right, cool.
So America, you fucking assholes. Here is the tour
that kicks off on Tuesday. Boston, Washington, New York, Philadelphia, St. Louis. Sorry, I know I keep saying your names wrong, you complaining bastards. Atlanta, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Albany, Concord, Grand Rapids, Cincinnati, Ann Arbor, Chicago, Madison, Minneapolis, San Diego. It's all on the fucking website. Just go, and come and see the show. Otherwise, I'll never come back because I'll give you the Spain treatment.
Right, done?
I think so.
Right, next one.